Brutal new details about the two inmates arrested after more than a week on the run.
James Mislovic and James Newman are now suspected in the brutal beating of an elderly convenience store clerk in the Tampa, Florida area. The attack was caught on tape. The video shows the two men who fit the description of the inmates walking into a store and attacking the clerk. One of the men is seen holding a knife and forcing the victim to open the register. Once the men have the money and some cigarettes, they begin a beating of the 71-year-old man, repeatedly kicking and punching him. They then run to a car waiting outside, which is a dark sedan that matches the description of the car Newman and Mislovic stole in Monroe County. The clerk is listed in serious condition, but is improving. The robbery and beating is just one incident in a long list of crimes the two men are accused of committing while they were on the run.
It's leading law enforcement to question why the men were in minimum security and has the public wondering why they weren't told about the escape sooner. News 8's Jenna Traum has the latest.
Mark and Lisa, on top of the alleged robbery and beating at the Florida convenience store, there may be other crimes the two men committed across the country law enforcement doesn't even know about yet. And that means it could delay the fugitives' return to Wisconsin even longer.
May the court see James Mislovic and James Newman.
The two inmates who escaped from a Black River Falls correctional facility made their first of many court appearances since their capture in Florida. And as the crimes in jurisdictions across the country pop up, the road back to Wisconsin gets longer and longer.
It's going to be a waiting period right now, so I don't have any idea.
Jackson County Sheriff Dwayne Waldera says the escaped inmates' violent crimes makes him question why they were evaluated as being safe enough to be in a minimum security facility in the first place.
Wow. We had just like a time bomb waiting, and that's disturbing, knowing that individuals were in a minimum security type setting and just had all this going on in their minds.
The escaped inmates' crimes also have some people wondering why it took law enforcement about 12 hours to notify the public of the escape. By the time that we received notification, they had escaped. They had stolen a car, they had stolen a gun, they had held someone at gunpoint and stolen her car, stolen another car, and gone on a high-speed chase. Why weren't any calls made?
Technically, we were working on it.
But Ho-Chunk employee Deb Lozano, who was held at gunpoint for hours as the fugitives hijacked her car, says that's not good enough.
I want to know where Jackson County was that didn't pick up the freaking phone and call and tell this facility when we're 24/7 that there is a probability of escapees coming onto our property or in our community. I question that.
Waldera calls it an oversight, and it's one he says is under review.
What occurred in this situation brings us to reviewing our approach on these issues and make sure we give proper notification as quickly as we can.
Waldera tells me the Jackson County Sheriff's Department has been doing trials of a public notification system that would send out alerts to residents' phones, but they don't have it up and running yet.
Thank you, Jenna. Mislovic and Newman are currently being held without bond in Florida. They already face one federal gun charge. It's still unclear what charges they may face in Monroe and Jackson County.